I stop. Ice what?
Whoa, whoa, baby, poke it out, poke it out, poke it out.
All right, fourth take. I had my mic muted 2 times, had the camera off 1 time. I don't even know how that's possible. It just turned off. But we're here. We finally have a string of videos coming out after the New Orleans Saints secure a victory. This week, it was against the Detroit Lions in Detroit. We were 1 hospital bed away from losing this game. That's why when everyone goes, dude, shut up, stop raving. It's the Detroit Lions. I don't care. Any NFL team in the league, period, is going to be hard to beat when you're missing 6 starters, except for the Washington football team. It's going to be difficult. So the fact that we went down to Detroit and got the victory means a lot to me, and I hope it does to you guys too. But looking forward, we have a matchup to look at this week, which is the New Orleans Saints versus the Los Angeles Chargers. The New Orleans Saints are actually 7.5-point favorites in this game and should be getting a lot of key players back from injury. Michael Thomas tweeted back on road, which only really, points to me that he's going to be playing this week, which is going to be a great thing to have back. I'm almost 100% certain Michael Thomas plays this week. There's almost no way. Then we have Marshon Lattimore, who could be coming back. Janoris Jenkins could be coming back. Jared Cook could be coming back. A lot of players we could be getting back for this matchup. So I'm going to act as if most players are coming back, and we're going to look at the New Orleans Saints versus Los Angeles Chargers Week 5 key matchups to watch. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So the first matchup I have on this list is a no-brainer. Michael Thomas versus Casey Hayward. Michael Thomas, like I said, should be coming back for the first time since his ankle injury in Week 1. In Week 1, he recorded 3 receptions for 17 yards, which was not the biggest and best performance ever, but it was against an extremely underrated secondary in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that had an absolutely fantastic game plan for containing Michael Thomas, which involved a lot of double and even triple sometimes coverages. This week, he should be going against the best corner on the Los Angeles Chargers roster, being Casey Hayward Jr. Chris Harris is out, but I don't think it's really too much of a debate. Casey has been having himself a pretty interesting season thus far, being targeted 34 times and allowing only 19 receptions out of those 34 targets. But a lot of QBs are going his direction, and it's very apparent. He has, though, allowed a 98 QBR when targeted, so a shaky start to the season is the best way to describe it. Casey has also allowed 2 touchdowns to be scored on him, and he's been allowing 61 yards per game. Judging by all of these metrics, if Michael Thomas is playing this week, he should have a big game. If he's 100% healthy with no linger of the ankle injury he sustained, he will do Casey Hayward Jr. in. I just don't think Casey has found his stride yet, and when you face the defending Offensive Player of the Year, it will be a tad difficult to manage, especially if you're not on your 100% A game. I think Michael Thomas has the advantage here. I'm almost certain he's going to play, and I'm almost certain he's going to do good against Casey Hayward. They will likely be game planning for Thomas, even if he's not coming back this week, because that's just how big of a threat he is. But we have other receivers that stepped up. Traquan and Emmanuel did a great job. So we'll see who plays and what the matchup is this week. That's what I think it's going to be, and I think Michael Thomas has the edge. Let's move on to matchup number 2. Matchup number 2, we got Marshon Lattimore versus Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen has been having himself a pretty good season so far, being 10th in receiving yards with 321, and also catching himself a receiving touchdown. He's having a season similar to Michael Thomas's 2019 campaign, but scaled down a lot. What I mean by that is he's mainly catching shorter passes. His average depth of reception is 10 yards, which is 100th in the league. Marshon, if he returns from his hamstring tweak, will either lock Keenan Allen down off of the stat sheet completely or allow 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. There's really no in between. It's difficult to gauge because Marshon Lattimore is usually pretty inconsistent at the start of NFL seasons. I don't know why. That's how it usually is. Marshon Lattimore has allowed a staggering 145.8 QBR when targeted, which is only 8 off from a perfect passer rating. The good thing about this, though, is that Marshon has only been targeted 10 times, so it's almost as if he doesn't expect the ball to come his way whenever it does. QBs are pretty scared to target Marshon Lattimore, but the few times that they have, it's worked well in their favor. He has allowed 7 receptions on those 10 targets, and also 130 yards and a touchdown. So it's a bit tough as far as Marshon goes, but I think a lot of that was in that Green Bay Packers game, which I wouldn't look too far into. He tends to downplay his opponents sometimes, and that's not gonna happen here. Keenan Allen is a star wide receiver, and usually Marshon Lattimore does well against star wide receivers and then does terrible against bums. I don't think Sean is bad at all. He's definitely elite. He just has had a slow start and will be back to shape come this game if he's good to go. If he isn't good to go, Janoris or PJ Williams will have to cover Keenan Allen, which could be a completely different story. But if Marshon comes back, it's going to be a very interesting battle between these two players right here. The final matchup I have on this list is an interesting one, and one that is going to 100% determine the winner of this game. That is the Saints run offense versus the Los Angeles Chargers run defense. The Chargers are currently ranked 15th in run defense throughout the entire NFL, and they faced a very tough Saints duo this week that could cause them a whole lot of trouble. The Chargers are allowing 110 rushing yards per game, allowing 115 rushing yards last week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who did not have Leonard Fournette, who has been great for them. The Saints have Alvin Kamara, of course, who is an early Offensive Player of the Year candidate. He has 236 rushing yards and 4 rushing touchdowns on the season. 86 of those rushing yards coming against the Detroit Lions on Sunday when he was given more than 6 carries. Sean Payton, good job. Kamara is also the highest graded receiver out of every single NFL player so far this year and has 30 receptions for 321 yards and 3 receiving touchdowns. He's the best running back in the league, cut and dry. I have no doubt about that. The Saints also have Latavius Murray, who was finally given a role by Sean Payton last week against the Detroit Lions. He had 14 carries for 64 yards and 2 touchdowns, showing us a really nice implication of that power back running we've been missing since the loss of Mark Ingram. He's done a great job filling that role. It's just Sean Payton doesn't like running the ball much. It's not that... Okay, he likes running the ball. He just has a very hard time committing to it. The New Orleans Saints had 13 more minutes of as far as time of possession goes against the Detroit Lions last week, and that was attributed to running the ball. If the Saints keep using these players like they did last week, they will have the league's best rushing attack again like 2018. Do it, Sean Payton. For the love of God, please. We all need it. That's the final 3 matchups I have. I have an honorable mention, which would be Justin Herbert versus the New Orleans Saints secondary. Justin Herbert has had a pretty good start to his rookie season. A 72.0 completion percentage, 931 passing yards, including a 70-yard passing touchdown last week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's done a great job. 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and a 102.2 QBR. This dude looks like something special. He has an absolute cannon. Threw for 2 50-yard touchdowns last week against the Buccaneers. If the Saints defense isn't on their A game, they could have some trouble come Monday Night Football with Justin Herbert. So those are the matchups I have. I don't really have anything else. Let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about this game. What are your ideal matchups to watch? Make sure to let me know. I always love reading your comments. You guys are the best. But yeah, that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you boys in the next one. Adios. Sorry for no fancy edits today. I'm on a time crunch, but they will be back coming actually 2 days tomorrow. One of the 2. Peace out, boys.
Zero gravity falling. Like I'm jumping on a trampoline.